It's day 25 of the Body Shaping for Women Over 50 series, and today is moderate strength. Grab your dumbbells and let's go! All right, killer bees, let's go ahead and get moving and grooving. Get your dumbbells completely out of the way, and let's get started with some arm circles with high knees, you guys. Oh my goodness. Welcome to the workout. I'm Paula B. I'm your best middle-aged fitness friend, and I am nervous about today's workout. Not because of the workout itself. The workout itself, I'm actually really excited about. It's moderate strength. I set this up in such a way as to give myself a very particular challenge, and I'm going to tell you straight up right now, before we even get going, that there are 4 rounds today. Here's why. I've got the handy dandy gym boss set for intervals of 20 seconds of work and just 10 seconds of rest. These are really short, fast moving intervals. It's gonna feel, because it moves so quickly, almost like cardio. Today is strength. It is slow moving, careful, pull in your core, think about your form kind of strength. But I wanted to make sure that we still got enough volume of work, and that's why we're doing 4 rounds. However, in the thinking about it and kind of practicing and getting ready for it, I totally have psyched myself out that I'm not going to be able to count to 4. Let's go ahead and do some arm crossers with booty kickers. I know me pretty darn good at this point. I know we're going to start talking about moderation and your form and how good it feels and blah, 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 other things. I mean, I don't really have an agenda. We'll probably talk about all kinds of things today. And I'm really nervous because I know that what happens sometimes is that when it comes around to round 3, I'm like, is this round 3 or is this still round 2? And then I second guess myself. And then when it's really round 4, I'm going to tell you it's round 3, and then we're going to end up doing 5 rounds. I'm going to try really, really, really hard not to do 5 rounds because there are 4 rounds. But if we do 5 rounds, just know that it's all good, that we're doing fine today. Everything's going to work out just fine. Let's go ahead and do some welcome to my homes. Welcome to my home, you guys. Here's the thing that I have noticed in fitness is that whatever ends up happening is actually all for the good, unless you injure yourself. That is always my only caveat. If you injure yourself or get injured or something happens, then it didn't work out well. But honestly, everything else is just kind of an experiment. It's kind of a work in progress. Yes, sometimes we do not get results as fast as we want them. Sometimes we don't even get the results that we really want. Sometimes things take a while before we really figure it out. Sometimes we have to reinvent the wheel. Sometimes lots of things happen. But if you are not getting injured, it's all good. It's all good. So as previously mentioned, I've got the handy dandy gym boss here set for intervals of 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest. It's gonna move quickly, but we're actually gonna move slowly. We're gonna get started with some curtsy curls. If you would prefer not to curtsy, you are absolutely welcome to kick instead, but please do the curls. I've got my I've got my moderate dumbbells today, and I am prepared to go down lower if I need to. This is why I have so many to choose from. We're gonna go ahead and get moving. And here we go. A curtsy curl means that we've got our elbows locked deeply into our waist. We're coming down in a curtsy lunge while doing a biceps curl. And I'm gonna have to scoot out of the way because I totally just stepped into my chair, you guys. I'm getting used to this new set. Everything's in a different place. And it's work for me to have to think about this stuff when it beeps. Here's 10 seconds of rest. Coming up next, we're doing a side kick delt raise. It's like a very slow butter churner. Gonna have our palms facing our body. Your hands are gonna go up and down in front of your body while we're kicking out to the side, one leg at a time, kicking out to the side, really thinking about excellent form, pulling in your core, squeezing from the tops of your shoulders rather than shrugging from the tops of your shoulders. Make sure it's always a squeeze. We're not trying to get momentum here. If you feel like you need to hoist the dumbbells up, here's 10 seconds of rest. Drop your dumbbells, get something lighter. Coming up next, we're doing a deadlift with a side raise. Feet a little bit wider than hip width apart. We're gonna do a deadlift, and as we come up from it, so here we go down into a deadlift, push your hips back, pull your hips forward, out into a side raise. Making sure that you're breathing and your core is pulled in tight. Squeezing from your glutes. thinking about excellent form. That's why we're moving nice and slowly. Here's 10 seconds of rest. We're doing a split squat with a press up. So I'm going to start off with my left foot back. It really doesn't matter which foot is back. We're going to come down into a split squat, and then left hand raises up. Your right arm is just down at your side. We are staying in this split squat stance for an entire interval. And then the next time, of course, we're going to, not next time, like next round, but this round, next interval, we're going to do this entire thing on the other side. So go ahead and get in position, get ready for it. In fact, I'm going to scoot over a little bit so you can see me from this side. Taking that big step back, staying in this split squat position, we come down into a lunge and up into a press up. Down into a lunge, almost a little bit of an extra curtsy, or not curtsy, but an extra curl here. Having your hand come all the way down and all the way up. Making sure that you're breathing. If you don't want to lunge all the way down, that's totally okay. Standing in that split squat stance is plenty of work. Coming up next, we're doing peekaboo high knees. I just can't get enough of these peekaboos, you guys. It is honestly, it's one of the most difficult exercises. So here we go. Arms are opening up like a peekaboo. One high knee is coming up at a time. Core is pulled in super, super tight for this one, like it is for all of them. It works your entire shoulder complex. It works your chest and your back and the tops of your shoulders. It really is a perfect exercise, which is why I do so many of them. Coming up next, we're doing high curl side kicks. Your hands are going to be out wide at shoulder height, palms facing the ceiling. We're going to curl, keeping your elbows up high while kicking out to one side and then the other. This one is tough. We're getting down low on the list. This requires concentration and balance. Awesome job. And then I gave us what I think of as a gimme. We're doing bent over flies next. This one's slightly easier. Push your hips back, feet are about hip width apart. Neck is neutral, palms face each other, and then we fly out to the side until they face the ground, more or less. We've talked about this several times during the body shaping series. It does not matter if you get all the way up into what would be considered the perfect position. As long as you are using excellent form, you are doing a great job. 10 seconds of rest. Coming up next, we're doing single leg squats. It's exactly what it sounds like. I'm going to start with my left foot on the ground. My right leg is my foot is bent behind me, coming down into a squat, wherever you can get to, and it's the whole 20 seconds on one side, really thinking about excellent form on this one, not letting your hip jut out to the side. If you need to, well, obviously you can do kicks instead of a squat, but also if you need to, you can hang on to something. This is balance. 10 seconds of rest, but don't fall out of it in order to try and balance. Coming up, of course, we're going to do a single leg squat on the other side. Squatting down, standing up. You can tap your foot down. You can actually have your foot down all or most of the time. Really thinking about where your hip position is the biggest thing about form to concentrate on. And of course, pulling in your core. Oh my goodness. And 10 seconds of rest. Okay, coming up next, we're doing triangles. Feet a little bit wider than hip width apart. Weights just start right here at your waist. One of them is going to go up overhead and stay facing the ceiling while we roll the other one all the way down your leg. This is the one where your hips get to get in on the action. It's not just your abs and obliques, so we're rolling all the way down, working that shoulder complex, the hip complex, and yes, still your abs and obliques too, of course. 10 seconds of rest. And then coming up next, it's the last exercise in round one. I'm saying that out loud. It's step back punch outs. Weights right here at your chest. We're going to step back while punching out. It's not a full lunge. We're just stepping back. It's such a big step back though that it throws you off your balance. Plus we're punching forward at the same time. So you're really thinking about pulling in your core, my friend. This is the end of round one. Okay, this is now round two. Round two, curtsy curls. Round 2, curtsy curls. Elbows are at your waist. We're gonna step way back and out to the side into a curtsy. I'm gonna think about where I'm standing so I don't step into the chair. Oh, awesome job. We're still moving slowly. I'm starting to get sweaty, but we're still moving slowly, still thinking about excellent form. Core is always pulled in tight. 10 seconds of rest. Side kick delt raise is next. Turn those palms in, facing your body. Hands are going straight up and down right in front of you while we're kicking out to one side. This is much more about balance for me, but it's also about those shoulders, making sure that you're not shrugging or hoisting. This is what I was talking about on round 1, last round, that if you feel like you need to shrug or hoist, drop your weights, get something lighter. Totally okay. This is moderate day. We are not, 10 seconds of rest, we are not making amazing gains with today's work. Coming up next, we're doing deadlift with a side raise. Feet about hip width apart. Push those hips back, 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 while your back is straight and your neck is neutral. And then as we stand up, release your glutes and raise your hands out to the side. Today's work is much more about maintenance. It's much more about form. It's much more about your mind-body connection. 10 seconds of rest. Coming up next, we're doing that split squat with a press up. I'm going to start with my left foot back. Doesn't matter which one. Whichever foot is back though is the arm that is raising up. So we're squatting and raising. Left foot just stays back. It's not really a reverse lunge. Feeling that burn in both quadriceps. Doesn't matter which leg is back. And pressing up. Good job. Oh my gosh. Doing that exact same thing on the other side. For another interval, go ahead and step that foot back, getting ready for it. Squat it down or lunge it down, however you want to think about it. If you don't want to lunge, go ahead and just stand in that lunging position. This is so much balance, making sure that all your toes are pointed forward, all your hip bones are pointed forward on this one. Excellent form. 10 seconds of rest. Coming up next, we're doing peekaboo high knees. I'm gonna laugh every time. Peekaboos are just hard at this point, right? I mean, once we've gone to burnout on these things, I tell you what, they just feel tough. Making sure your core is pulled in nice and tight. Swinging those elbows wide by squeezing from the middle of your back. Beautiful job. Standing on one foot at a time really makes your core work for it. Excuse me, my throat is so dry. 10 seconds of rest. Coming up next, we're doing those high curl side kicks. So again, making sure your elbows are high, but also making sure that your core is pulled in tight is what I was pointing to on that one. The side kick isn't really throwing you too far off of balance. You're really just using the sides of your glutes and your outer thighs to pull that leg up gently. It's not really much of a kicking motion. We're not trying to get power out of it. 10 seconds of rest. Coming up next, we're doing bent over flies. Whew, doggies. Push those hips back, palms face each other, and then palms face the ground. Beautiful job. Neck is nice and neutral. Once again, if you feel like you need to hoist or using momentum to get the weights up, go ahead and drop your weights. It's okay. My friends, there is no shame in the moderation game. This is how we get stronger, 10 seconds of rest, by letting our body make the adaptations from the push day, not from trying to push in every workout. Coming up next, we're doing single leg squats. I'm going to start with my left leg first. I like to get it out of the way. It is not easy. I'm pretty sure that was on camera. Did y'all just see Rosie have a nice big barf? If you didn't see it, I totally apologize for pointing it out to you. Life with cats, you guys. 10 seconds of rest. And now that's just going to sit there until I'm done with the workout. We are, of course, doing single leg squats on the other side. And this is still round 2, so that's going to sit there for a while, you guys. This is the real reason we got hardwood floors. I knew we would talk about something random today. This is the real reason why we got hardwood floors, which aren't really hardwood. They're vinyl plank. But But because Rosie's 16, she's old, she throws up all the time. Coming up next is triangles. And it was just getting so gross to clean it up out of the carpet. Plus the carpet was really old too. A little bit wider than hip width apart. One hand goes up while we roll that other one right down the side of your leg. Use your hips and glutes to roll your hip out. And then pull it back underneath you. Awesome job. Oh, you guys, making sure that you're not holding your breath like I feel like I am. Coming up next, it's the last exercise in circuit number 2. It is step back, punch outs. Weights are just right here at your chest. We're going to step back and punch forward, step back and punch forward. And it seems to me like I've gotten this going the wrong way, that I actually want it to be going across my body. Oh, which I am, because the foot that's stepping back is actually the hand that's punching out. We'll call it good. It doesn't really matter which way we're going, truly. 10 seconds of rest, and here we go, starting round 3. This is the beginning of round 3 with curtsy curls. The great thing about sometimes doing an exercise one way and sometimes doing it another way is that your body can actually make adaptations with either way. There is no wrong way to exercise unless you are getting injured. Truly, anything else you're doing is using your muscles in some way. 10 seconds of rest. Now, I say that after I tell you, oh, you have to use good form, you have to use good form. I want you to be focusing on getting your work out of your major muscles, side kick delt raises, using those elbows to bring the weights up to your chin, right in front of your body, using the sides of your legs and your glutes to bring that foot out to the side. But when you are concentrating on having your brain tell your body, 10 seconds of rest. Coming up next is the deadlift with side raises. When your brain tells your body to use the major muscles, that first of all is the best way to avoid injury. But second of all, it doesn't really matter what combination you are moving your body in. When your major muscles are doing what they are supposed to be doing, you're doing fine. And especially when your core is pulled in tight, which we are doing right now. Your hips are driving this motion. And 10 seconds of rest. Coming up next, we're doing that split squat with the press up. I'm going to start with my left leg back. It does not matter which one. All toes are pointed forward. Squat it down and then press it up. If you don't want to squat it down, that's fine. You can actually get quite a few more press ups. Maybe not quite a few. You can get some more press ups into this interval. Totally up to you if you want to squat or not squat, lunge or not lunge. I want you, 10 seconds of rest to get the workout that works for you. Of course, we're going to do that exact same thing on the other side. My thighs are burning from that one. Oh my goodness. I used to do split squats quite frequently. If you have been around the Paula B Fitness channel for a while, you know, I used to do split squats in basically every workout, and I had kind of gotten away from it because they're tough. There are some exercises that are just a little bit more burny than others. 10 seconds of rest. Peekaboo high knees is coming up next, and some of that is simply because I don't practice it as much anymore. This is what we do when we make adaptations, you guys. We get better. Here we go with peekaboo high knees. We get better at the things that we practice all the time. Split squats didn't used to be tough for me, but now they are because I don't practice them as much. Open those elbows. Close those elbows. You guys, I am totally cracking myself up in my head. Coming up next is the high curl side kicks. I just wondered what round we're on in my head. High curl, side kick. Elbows are as high as your shoulders the entire time, squeezing from the middle back. I already know, though, that Rosie threw up at the end of round 2, so this is round 3. But I was totally just questioning it in my head. Is this round 2? Is this round 3? But it's round 3, and I know that. Okay, coming up next, we're doing bent over flies. But this is what happens to me. I start talking about something else, and then it doesn't feel like we've done too much work because it hasn't been too much work. Push your hips back. Gotta fly those hands out. But it's been enough work, certainly. It's certainly been enough work that I know that it's round 3. I know that this is round 3. We've got one more round after this, which is round 4, and that'll be the last round. Squeezing from your middle back, not hoisting, not shrugging. Very nice job. Coming up next is single leg squats for the third time, because this is round 3. I'm going to start with my left foot on the ground, and I'm going to squat it down to wherever I can get to without letting my hip jut out. Now, I am letting my toe kind of touch the ground here behind me, in fact, quite a bit on some of these, but I am not trying to force myself to balance the entire time. If you can, that is fantastic. If you can't and you need just a little bit of something to tap your toe down, please do. It's much more, here's 10 seconds of rest. It's much more about your squat form than your balancing. We have balance work for the finisher. This is about squatting. Other side, we're doing that single leg squat. Awesome job. Very nice. I wonder if Rosie threw up again in another room, because I saw her just meander back in, and now she's sitting on the windowsill in front of me, looking happy as a clam, so she's obviously not sick. Sometimes things just don't agree with her. Oh my goodness. Okay, coming up next, we're doing triangles. Feet a little bit wider than hip width apart. Weights right here at your chest, your waist, wherever feels comfortable to you, because one of them is going to go up overhead, while the other one rolls right down the side of your leg. Oh my gosh, depending on your flexibility. It depends on both your flexibility and your strength. If you are not flexible but strong, you might only get down about halfway. If you are both flexible and strong, you might get all the way down to your feet. I happen to be more strong than flexible, 10 seconds of rest, but that one isn't too bad for me. Okay, coming up next. It is the last exercise in round 3, because this is round 3, step back punch outs. So we're stepping back, we're punching out, we're pulling in your core, we're thinking about excellent form, whether this is the correct way to do this exercise, or if I did it differently on round 1, it doesn't really matter. Here on round 2 and round 3, I've done it this way, and this is what I'm going to keep doing when it beeps again. We've got 10 seconds of rest, and now we are heading into round 4. You guys, round 4, curtsy curls. I'm going to scoot over just a little bit so I don't kick myself. Elbows locked into your waist. We're curling while we're curtsying, or kicking, whatever works for you. If you are doing kicking today instead of curtsying or lunging or squatting, you have gotten a lot of really good balance work in today. You have done a lot of kicking, and you have really used your core and your glutes. Coming up next is side kick delt raise. And that, my friend, is always a good thing. Palms facing your body. We're kicking out to the side while raising those weights up to about your chest. Or chin is actually the word I was trying to say. You're trying to get the weights all the way up to your chin by raising your elbows up above your ears. Wherever you can get to, though, without shrugging or hoisting. Always thinking about having your core pulled in tight. 10 seconds of rest. Coming up next, we're doing the deadlift with the side raise. For the 4th time, feet a little bit wider than hip width apart. Really thinking about where your hips are. They go back. Hips are driving this train, my friends, and then as they come forward, raising those arms out to your sides, not hoisting or shrugging, simply squeezing from your shoulders and your back and your chest. A side raise actually incorporates all kinds of big muscles in your body. Coming up next, we're doing the split squat press up. For the 4th and final time, I'm going to start with my left foot back. Thinking about good form, all your toes facing all the same way. That is the hard part. This is where we get into a lot of balance by having all of your toes pointed forward. Most of us would much prefer to have our back foot, kicked out to the side. And that, my friends, is a compensation because your quadriceps don't want to work anymore. Ask your quads to just keep on doing that work, whether they want to or not. Don't let them get injured, but do your best to ask them to work. Oh my goodness. Here we go on the other side. This balance work. Sometimes it feels amazing. Sometimes it feels like a challenge. Pressing up, keeping your head up, your chest out. Thinking about good form all the way up and down that motion. Coming up next, it's peekaboo high knees, everybody's favorite. Actually, you know what? Maybe peekaboos are your favorite. I don't know. They're starting to be my less than favorite, even though they are my favorite. It is such a good exercise, and it's just really hard for me. I know that some people are significantly stronger in their upper body than they are in their lower body. I will always feel at a bit of a deficit. My lower body is so strong, I don't know if my upper body can catch up. 10 seconds of rest, and then coming up next, we're doing those high curl side kicks. Palms facing out and up, hands just about shoulder height. Elbows never go below shoulder height. Here on round 4, that is getting very challenging, and then we're still side kicking. Awesome job. Really feeling that work, and 10 seconds of rest. Excellent. Coming up next, we're doing bent over flies, making sure that your core is still pulled in really, really tight with this. I can feel that my core is getting a little bit tired, and therefore, even on a short interval, we really want to think about keeping our really good form. Neck is neutral, palms are facing each other, and then they're facing the ground. Hips are nice and strong, squeezing from your glutes to keep that bent over position. Not rolled over, just hinged back. 10 seconds of rest. Great job. Coming up next, single leg squats. Yes, single leg squats. I'm going to start with my left foot, and I'm just going to squat to wherever I can get to. Here on round 4, that is probably not quite as low as it was on round 1, and that's what happens sometimes. My friends, we're doing what we can, and we are indeed getting stronger, even with a moderate workout and moderate weights. 10 seconds of rest. There's always work, and there's always something good for you every time we move. Gotta, of course, do single leg squats on the other side. Good job. Thinking about good form, keeping your hip and knee and toes in line with one another, all facing forward rather than hitching out to the side. When it beeps again, we're gonna get 10 seconds of rest. Yay, and then we're gonna do triangles. I don't know why triangles feel really good today. I do know why. It's because we're using our abs and my legs are kind of tired. One hand goes up overhead while we roll down the other way. And then, using those big, strong abs to pull yourself back up. Also getting a little bit of help from those hip and glute muscles. Excellent job. Really thinking about keeping your shoulders stacked and solid. 10 seconds of rest. And you guys, step back punch outs is it. This is the last exercise in our 4th circuit. Step back and punch out. And when we are done with this interval, we will be done, but we are definitely not finished because you already knew this was coming. I do indeed have some balance work for us today. In addition to all the balance work we've already done, and since I'm super wobbly, I feel like you know how well this is going to go. Go ahead and put your weights all the way down. We are going to stand on one foot while the opposite hand is doing a rainbow reach. So I'm going to start with my left foot. Your opposite hand is reaching like a rainbow up overhead and back. We're trying to stand up as tall as you can. There's a little bit of bending over on this side and the other side while we're creating this rainbow, and that is what is throwing us off of balance. We are not going to do 4 rounds on each side. We are going to do 2. So here we go over to the other side. We're not going to try and do a long interval on any one side. We're going to stand on the other foot. We're going to reach with our opposite hand to reach across, up and over your body. It's like like the world's slowest, not exactly rainbow jacks, because we're not moving our feet at all. And sometimes, it doesn't make it harder, but it certainly doesn't make it easier either. Moving one hand is partly work for your brain as well as your body, but it's also throwing off our balance just enough that we really have to think about pulling in our core. Here's our second time on our first leg, and this is the last time on this leg. Reaching up and over like a rainbow. It could feel like a really nice stretch if we weren't just standing on one leg. Maybe it still does feel like a good stretch. Actually, it kind of does. Oh my goodness. But it also feels like a really good challenge and a really good wobble. Here's 10 seconds of rest. And then this is it. This is our final balance challenge on our final foot for the final time, for everything being better than done. We will be finished. So here we go on the second foot, reaching up and over like a rainbow. Oh my goodness, my friends. I'm not going to say it until it actually beeps. But I'm thinking this finisher wasn't quite as bad as I thought it might have been. I expected, after all the work, that my legs were going to be a little bit shakier, and they are shaky. But you know what? Day 25 of all of this balance practice, let's go ahead and do some arm circles and cool this down while we're tapping. Day 25 of balance practice, how are you feeling with your balance? I'm noticing some improvements, and I've been working on my balance for years. I wasn't sure if I had a lot more improvement available to me, but I'm feeling like the constant daily practice is actually really helpful for me too. That's really exciting. I'm noticing some changes this month that I was not sure if I was gonna get. So I'm really excited about that, and I would love to hear. I mean, we're only 3 days from the end of our first, well, depending on when you're watching this. When I'm filming it, this is my first time through the 29 days. But you might be watching this in, January of 2021 saying, no, Paul, I've been doing this for several rounds. But I would love to notice what you're noticing near the end of this round of the body shaping series. Let's go ahead and do some arm openers. Oh my goodness. And some arm closers with a great big hug and a pat on your back. What a good job you've done. Not just today, but this whole series. I am super, super proud of you, the effort that you've put in, the work that you are putting in, and the results that I really hope you're seeing and probably feeling much more than seeing at this point. Visual results really take time, but you might feel my balance right now notwithstanding, but you might feel that you've made some really good progress in some areas. My friend, make sure that you subscribe before you go, and I'll see you tomorrow for our core strength day. We are eating our baseline and getting ready for another great recovery day. I'll see you then.